Putting on the discussion robe. I'm in the discussion room. Because this isn't my normal streaming setup. Because that's boring. And I need a set piece if I gotta do discussion. So, sorry, it may be maybe bad lighting. I'm working with what I got right now. In the future, it will improve as living situations shall change eventually. Hopefully. Hi, I'm Niels Diomu. That's my internet name. I'm also known as Niels, because, yeah, that's my name. I'm here to start a new little series on my second channel. This is my second one. Check out the first one. There's a lot less content on that one because that's art. Can't pump out art. Okay, that's not really. But today, I'm starting a new little thing on my second channel called Leftism in anime. Though Japan, the country, might not be itself super leftist, I believe that the messaging and theming in a lot of animes contain some leftist ideas, like anti-war, open borders, equality. You have equality, racism and such. I have more, rehabilitation, and so on. But today I'm going to start with something that's not much of a leftist ideology itself. I mean, it's part of it, but it's more so the political and economical systems held by little lefties such as myself. And today we're going to be discussing communism in an anime called That One Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Now, Niels, you may be asking, why are you assigning your dirty communist beliefs, you USSR apologist, China supporter? I don't like either one of those places. Not real communism. Not in my book. Communism. Why is it in the show? Why are you prescribing it such a... Hi. Nice of you to join us, yeah. Can you lay down, buddy? Can you... Yeah. Why? Okay, I apologize. Where was I at? Niels, why are you a lefty prescribing your leftist ideals on this little anime that I like? Don't ruin it by throwing politics into it. Well, everything's politics, bitch, so handle it. But also, hey, just so happens my ideals happen to line left, so it's not my fault. And then also, it just so happens that this show portrays communism. I don't think the mangaka was intentionally like, hey, let's pull out some Marxist communism out of this and fucking throw it in it. I don't know, I didn't look it up really. Didn't do much research into the show itself or manga and anime itself, but hey, that's because I'm just analyzing it. So it doesn't matter. And no, I don't have a degree, but I have glasses, so that means I'm smarter than you. Because that's how the world works. Anyone who's got glasses, we're at equal intellectual levels, you know? If you don't, it kind of just tanks down, right? That's how it works. Am I just gonna be like, hey, it's communism and leave the video at that? Yes. No. I gotta give reasons, justifications, and defend my argument, right? So, let's just take a look at a few definitions for the time, and then we're gonna explore what happens in the story, and you tell me if it doesn't match the definition of communism, you know? Maybe it'll be capitalism. I know it's not capitalism, but hey, if you want to try and lie and tell a different reality, you can go ahead and do that, just like a lot of people. So yeah, we're gonna start with the number one thing, capitalism. We all know it, love it, mostly hate it. It's the system we all live in. It's great, fantastic, and it really supports that individuality, you know, being a cog in the machine for fucking a billionaire class. Alright, no. Capitalism. Let's start with the definition. Capitalism, an economic and political system in which a country's trade and an industry are controlled by private owners for profit rather than by the state. Interesting. Now, keep that definition in your mind, rewind if you got to. We'll go to the next one. Fascism. And I mean, maybe that's could be slightly applicable to the show if you look at it through a certain lens, because reasons, but let's start with the definition. I'm getting ahead of myself. Fascism. It's a form of a far-right authoritarian ultranationalism characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, and strong regimation of society, of the economy. And of the economy, which came to prominence in the early 20th century. That doesn't matter when it came to prominence. But yeah, I don't know what regimation means. What's that mean? I should have looked this up. I had weeks to prepare for this video. Very strict control. Okay, strict control. Yeah. Okay, yeah, regimation of society and the economy. It means strict control. I now know it. My bad. I should have looked it up before. But yeah. So you could, if you view it through a certain lens, it could be slightly applicable, maybe. But it's honestly not comparable. Not in the slightest. Fascism fails. This is the story of a succeeding nation. Alright, but on to the next definition. Socialism. Hold on, why is it not letting it scroll? Stop. Oh my god. Oh, stop. My headphones, they're pressing keys down so they can stay away there. Next up is socialism. Now, originally, I believe this show was socialism, because when I looked up communism and socialism the first time, I couldn't see enough of a difference in the definitions. So I was just like, did noise make? I hear something? What? Alright, wait. The noise really distracted me, so I had to respond to text. Okay, I think it was just a glass over here. So I thought originally this was socialism, but it's not. Or at least I don't think so. I mean, it is partially. We all know socialism. Then you try to go to communism, and then really far down the line we become anarchies, and that's the true goal. But hey, one step at a time. And in my lifetime, I'll be lucky to see socialism. So, yeah. Socialism, a political and economic theory of social organization which advocates that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned and regulated by the community as a whole. Now, is that applicable to the show? Kinda. It's really weird because everyone has their roles, but there's not really a boss man in anything or anyone. It is technically all state controlled, so the workers don't own the means of production, but they do because, like, the protagonist doesn't touch anything. But again, I'm getting too ahead of myself. Let's finally read the last definition I got. Communism. A political theory derived from Karl Marx. Yeah, I don't. This is what happened with the definition, so I'm just running with it from Google searches. Again, I don't got a degree, so I can't get too deep into communism, but I did look up two definitions and threw them together. Alright. A political theory derived from Karl Marx, advocating class war, leading to a society which all property is publicly owned and each person works and is paid accordingly to their abilities and needs. But also political and economic doctrine that aims to replace private property in a profit-based economy with public ownership and communal control of at least the major means of production. Now, I don't know that was two ways of saying the same thing, but I threw them both in because You got the Karl Marx version, and then you got the last Karl Marx, and then, you know, yeah. Like advocating class war and this and that. The whole thing with the definition of communism, that's a problem here. It's all written under capitalism, you know. How do you get to communism from capitalism? That's the whole thing about this communism definition. But let's remove the idea of starting from capitalism. Let's remove that completely. We're starting from nothing. I mean, that is how the show starts. It starts from nothing. So changing anything is just starting with public property for everyone and all the needs being taken care of according to the work. But we'll get into that. Because you see, now it's time to get into that time that I was reincarnated as a slime timeline. And you can judge for yourself. I'm going to make my arguments when I'm going through it. But hey, take it in strides, judge for yourself, watch the show. By the way, this contains spoilers for season 1, so if you haven't watched the show or anime or read the manga, go ahead and do that. I know season 2 is out and is coming out, but I'm not that far in it yet. And I'm too excited to write and record this video for that. So, let's start the beginning of the workforce in the election process. Now here's the thing. Most of this is to cover the economic systems of the world rather than the political systems. But we have to acknowledge that it's a political and economic system. All of them, all 4 of them. I mean, not necessarily. I guess capitalism is political, yeah, but you know, it's still it's wishy-washy, all that. But yeah. So, yeah, I've heard wise words that it's not true socialism or communism if it's not true democracy, right? And I agree with that. Now the thing is there a democratic election process for the protagonist when he first shows up and claims land and ownership of the village? No. But the goblins did voluntarily pledge themselves to Rimuru, Tempest, the slime, and yeah, that's like a reverse democracy. You're choosing to follow them rather than you vote for them, you know? Everyone chose it. Everyone agreed upon it. I mean, he saved their lives. They were all happy. They were like, hey, okay, Rimuru, you did a good job. But anyway, they all pledged themselves to Rimuru. So, how would you describe that? I mean, it's not any real political leadership ways. No one just goes to someone and is like, hey, I'm loyal to you in this land now. This land is yours because I'm loyal to you because we own this land. That doesn't happen. It doesn't. But in my book, it's reverse democracy because they're choosing it. They chose to follow Rimuru. And they offered that in need for protection. Now, I know it wasn't the whole village, and it was just the elder. And how was that elder decided to be the elder of the village? That's a whole nother question. So Rimuru becomes the state in that moment. The moment the hobgoblins pledge themselves, Rimuru becomes the state. The elected leader of the goblin village at the time. And we start with the goblins trying to build their village. Well, they build a wall first, and they were shitty at that. And then they try to build a village after that, after they get the dogs. But it was shitty. They sucked at the skills. They tried working and getting provided their needs, and they did. They survived. But it wasn't good. They didn't enjoy it. And so they left. Oh, also, when the dogs join, they serve as a militia group. Like, they're not part of the workforce. They're part of the militia. The military isn't really important to me in this show. I mean, it's a anime, shonen anime, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, of course, fight battle based, but everyone's part of the military while also part of the workforce, but the dogs can't work. They're fucking dogs, yeah. So you could say communism is state controlled, and you could say Rimuru controls the workforce and everyone, tells them what to do, but you see in the show Rimuru doesn't really do that. It's more so the goblins know what they do, they know what they already were living, and Rimuru is just like, okay, do what you were doing before, but now I'm here. So they hunt, gather, this, that, and so he takes leadership overall over the workforce, but he doesn't necessarily take control of the workforce. He's not the boss man, he's just the foreman. I mean, he literally is a foreman as part of his job description when he was alive, and then he uses that as the skill, and yeah. Also, hey, while we're discussing politics and economies, let's talk about hierarchies, because hierarchies exist, and this is where the beginning of the hierarchy for the show takes place. Now, we all hate hierarchies as a fellow leftist, but you know they exist no matter what. Some people are born to lead, some people are born to follow. It's just how it is. It's the truth of the world. You can't be too upset about it. But the goal is to make those hierarchies as flat as possible. You want tiny hierarchies. You want little space between the bottom and the top. And in this show, you do. You got the flat pyramid hierarchy. You only got 3 tiers, and there's barely anything that affects you in those tiers. The only thing that really affects you through those tiers is how much time you get to spend with Rimuru. That's honestly it. That's the only benefit of the tier system. You get more time with Rimuru Slime. Good for you, whoop-de-doo. Not much of a benefit. Who cares? Everyone else, they all live in the same house. They all live in the same lives. Well, same basic necessities taken care of. It's pretty shit for the time being. But hey, everyone's taken care of. Also, yeah, we discussed there's class war with communism. Here's the thing. There is no class. There's a ruling class, but there is no low, high, middle class. They're all just equal footing, except for Rimuru, the ruling class. And then who he puts in the second tier, who serve as leadership positions, but more are also representatives for the goblins too. But it's not like they're really bosses either. They're just Rimuru's right hand for the time being. So yeah, you got hierarchies, you got flat hierarchies, you got an equal distribution of the workforce. Is anyone profiting? Amassing capital? Is anyone saying this is my private property? You can't touch it? Nope, that's not what's happening. Is it he took over by force, suppressing any opposition in his way? And he's like, hey, we're only doing this and this? You can kind of see it like that. But he didn't. He's not dictatorial. He doesn't care. You live your life the way you do. And then the camera turns off. He's not a dictatorial power that's deciding everyone and everything for the village, living off of very strict rules and suppressing anyone who disagrees with him. No, that's not what's happening. I mean, he is an absolute leader, but that was by choice, kind of. My others' choice, and yeah, he's not a dick. So you can take that dictatorial out. And also, yeah, there's no luxury goods at this point, so there's no worry about anything. Everyone's just getting their basic needs taken care of. And it kind of continues that way. Everyone treats Rimuru as a god, but everyone else is equal at this point. I mean, it's one of the #1 rules Rimuru taught to them. Don't see other races as inferior. We all equal. Also, don't attack humans. I mean, he should. Fuck humans, but that's besides the point. Next is the dwarves and the first improvement. A group of 4 dwarves come into play. They also pledge themselves to Rimuru, so again, reverse democracy. They chose to follow him. Now, with the dwarves, they get a little bit of a benefit. They instantly hop on that second tier. They instantly get to see Rimuru more, and they are the leaders of their crafts because they are the masters of their crafts. But that's the thing. They take over in those sections of the workforce. The construction dwarf takes over construction. The forging blacksmith dwarf takes over blacksmithing. The clothing dwarf takes over armory and clothing. And then the artistry dwarf, yeah, does artistry. Big fucking whoop-de-whoop, right? But are they the bosses of those places? No. If anything, they're just teachers and mentors. So, you could say that Rimuru selected these people, and so it was state-controlled, and I guess you can say that's the communism there. I mean, they're part of the community. They're leading the workforce. I'm sure if the hobgoblins really wanted to say, they do the same thing. I mean, they were living shit lives before. What would they do? Putting Gumbozo in charge of blacksmithing when that dude showed up. They picked those people so they could take lead in those departments. State controlled, communism, but hey, it's for the betterment of everyone. They're not bossing anyone around. They're just teaching their trade skills. It's all good, all happy, all love, all community building. It's perfect. It's the beginning of actual basic homes, clothes and weapons, and everyone starts, due to the addition of the dwarves, everyone starts living lower to middle class, like at the time. Not saying there's actual class, but just trying to structure, they lived in shitty huts before. I'm gonna try to find pictures, and then now they're, it's an improvement. Their quality of life made an improvement due to these dwarves taking over. They all love it. They're all getting their basic needs taken care of. Everyone is receiving these improvements. It's not like the dwarves are getting them first. Rimuru is the only one who gets like a shrine. But again, it's an anime. They worship him as a god. But they chose to worship him as a god. So it's democracy. Actually, I don't know if it is democracy. It's reverse democracy, okay? And then note, as the dwarves take over, are they privatizing it? Are they amassing capital? Nope. Are they strict about anything? Not really. They're just building stuff. And everyone is compensated the same. Now, I know in the definition it says compensated for your work. But in this society, everyone's putting in work. Everyone's doing the same. I mean, it's not that they're all doing the same tasks. Yes, some things should be worth more than others, but they all put in the work. There's the hunters, gatherers, food makers, everyone who's learning under these craft specialists. They're all doing the work. They're all building the houses, and they all get to live in them. Happy, happy, happy. Everyone's happy, right? That's the true freedom. They all got freedom. That's another thing. Freedom and happiness, hand in hand. Oh, I shouldn't have clapped. Interlocking. Up next is the Kijin and innovations. Now, as I previously mentioned with capitalism, we all like to say, it promotes individuality as we all become entrepreneurs because we all have that option. Well, here's communism to prove you wrong. It's this show I've already proven with those 2 examples that it's pretty much communism. Try to give me any other of the things, fuck you. I'm right. I know it. I feel it in my heart of hearts. I don't know why I'm so aggressive. But yes, communism also promotes innovation. Why? I don't know. Maybe because humans always like striving for more and better and shit. Like we're always looking for an out. It's just what we do. We're looking for answers. We're looking for outs. We're lazy, smart pieces of shit. That's humanity for you. So no matter what, even if everyone gets paid more equally and this and that, everyone this, that, innovations would still happen. We're proven with the Kijin. Because the Kijin, they bring in new materials to the dwarves, and the dwarves are like, whoa, we can make new shit. This will make more better life for everyone. And so more improvements happen through innovating with diversity. That's another thing, diversity. Wow, I didn't even have this in my script. It's the mixing of diversity that created the innovation, thus becoming even more leftist. Because we all know diverse communities are just happier, better, smarter, lovelier. They're just better. Diversity is great. But the Kijin don't add much to the workforce other than the two that provide the materials and also work in specific skills. Other than those two add to the innovations, there's not much of a workforce. They now have a militia trainer with the Kijin. There's a dude that trains everyone. Again, I don't care much for the workforce, I care about the workforce. The military I don't care much about, because again, everyone's part of the military. 5 out of 6 of the Kijin make it to the second tier of the hierarchy. Now, hey, it's unfair to the rest of the hobgoblins. No, it's not. Because again, what benefits are they getting? They're just surrounded and removable more. That's all it is. They're provided the same houses as everyone else. They're all given the same shit. It's all good. Everyone's, yeah. They all just serve as a political / war council for Rimuru. That's it. That's their additions. They help innovate. They become the second tier, except for one of them. But yeah, they don't add much. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty dope. It's all good. Going good still. Yeah. Yeah, there's not even a pay raise. There's not even pay. There's not even a currency. That's how fantastic this show is. Everyone's needs are so taken care of, there's not even a currency. Everyone's just straight up given, yup, that's, you need food, here's food. You need water, here's water. You need shelter, here's a house. Boom. All of it public, none of it's private. I bet like a hella hobgoblins are spending the night together just in one house, not even being related. But that's how lovely the community is. Actually, that's just headcanon, but we don't know. I don't know. Season 2 details more. I don't know. But next, it's the suppression of the orcs. Now, here's a little more fascism, because you can mix a little fascism in your beliefs, but I don't believe it's fascism. Suppression of the orcs. Now, that's an ironic title I gave it, because it was a war waged by the orcs. They were in the wrong. If you call beating Nazi Germany a suppression of the opposition, and I mean it is technically, but it's not a bad one, you know. With the orcs, only one man really gets suppressed. I mean, a bunch of orcs die, because I'm pretty sure it's like they're from 200,000 to like 5,000 or some shit, right? Like that. I don't remember. I didn't include the numbers. I know I'm awful, but a lot of them died. But all the ones that survived got redemption. They were able to redeem themselves through living in the city of Tempest with all the other monsters. And they joined the hobgoblins as the bottom tier. And the other dude, the one Kijin, they join as a general workforce. They just do construction. They add aqueducts somehow. They're able to innovate to aqueducts because the orcs are stronger. So yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah, they were ending an evil war. How could you say? I mean, it is a suppression of the opposition, but not a bad one. Again, join the hobgoblins. They have one representative in the second tier, Geld, just like, you know, other races. So at least each race does get a representative. That's another benefit, even though, you know, they're not at the second tier. Representation, you know. They don't add much past. They build a brick road and aqueducts and fountains. They don't really add much, really. They just become the workforce. I mean, here's the thing. I just add more people to the workforce, but all my points still stand the same. Rimuru is elected as leader throughout all of it, or they just pledge themselves to him. There's open borders, because I forgot to mention, 500 goblins go to Rimuru after, I don't remember when, but he gets a huge population gap, so open borders. Again, with these orcs, it's basically open borders. Anyone who's welcome is there. And, yeah, my point still stands the same. I mean, Rimuru controls everything, technically. He's the state, so the workforce is state-controlled, but all the lead production people lead their productions pretty equally. Everyone's treated and paid the same. I know that's not the definition of communism, but in this fantasy world, hey, they don't have luxury goods, so it makes sense why they're all equally paid. It's not like some people live in shitty huts now and then the other people live in better houses, or it's not like this person gets served mush except for Gobuto that one time, but that was just a joke. But it's not like these people get served mush and then the others. None of the addition of diversity represses anyone or takes away anyone's rights or any resources or anything. They're all still living good lives. It turns out with the addition of more immigrants, yep, that's right, that's the thing, it's diversity and an addition of immigrants, refugees actually too. It's pretty fucking, this show is pretty fucking leftist. It has a lot of things I can get into: equality, rehabilitation, refugees, immigration. Or I guess it's mostly refugees. No, immigration. The goblins were immigrants rather than refugees. And the dwarves were immigrants. But yeah, no one's getting any less. Everyone's just getting more and benefiting from it. So it's communist utopia. Oh yeah, and like, so basically everything's universal. That's a simple way to put it. Universal healthcare, water, goods. Running water is free because they all worked for it. They already been working for it. So it's not like just because the orcs came up and now only the second tiers get running water. Nope, everyone gets running water. Lizard folk come in, another group of immigrants. It's dope and cool. They just become farmers. There's not much to say. There's not much to add. They all work, do their additions. They become part of the workforce. Stay controlled, but not really. They control and distribute it themselves. The community decides everything as a whole, mostly. Rimuru decides things, but the community agrees as a whole. And they're the ones distributing everything. It's not like Rimuru's like, this goes to them, this goes to them. The community has got a whole handle on everything. It's nothing private. It's all public. It's not Rimuru, hey, I'm controlling everything. It's pretty good. It's pretty fucking good. I'm not putting the lizard folk representative in the second tier because fuck him. Nobody respects him. And I only put respect in the second tier. He'll go halfway because, yeah, I don't respect him. There's also an embassy group, so I guess you can put the female lizard folk in the second tier. But also, she's not too important. I mean, it's dope. They're dope additions. None of these additions change my argument. I'm just running through the timeline. Again, you can decide for yourself looking at all these facts, but I'm laying them out, and I'm right. I hope. Now, with others and outside relations, we have Milan and Vesta join. 2 immigrants allowed in. A-okay. Neither one becomes really anything. Vesta becomes the leading scientist of the land. He makes innovations in the health potion. And guess what? It's distributed to everyone. Everyone. It's not like, hey, Rigard gets the first to the health potions because he's Rigard. Nope. Anyone who's injured gets the health potions. Because, yeah, it's great society. And then, so far with most of the nations they met, they've developed friendly diplomatic relations and trade. And it's good and dope. They're friendly, trying to not have war with everyone. There's open borders, I already mentioned that. It's pretty fucking dope. We love open borders, but that's a long-term goal also. So, in conclusion, it's a reverse democracy. The state is Rimuru. The people chose the state willingly by following the state rather than, well, they made him the state and then they choose to follow him. So it's a reverse democracy. It's not like anyone's forced or anything. And I mean, no one really wants a different leader. It's not like someone in the background's like, I don't agree with Rimaru's beliefs. I'm running for the leader of the what's it called? The something Forest Alliance in Tempest. That's not happening. So it's good democracy. And then everyone else, it's not like anyone is against anyone else being picked and selected as heads because it's the best people chosen. We see that if anyone else was chosen, it fails. It already proves it. That's the scene. They already show it. Even though there's hierarchy, everyone is treated equal. Rimaru's the only one who's treated above anyone else. Everyone is given equal choice and opportunity to do what they want, except lead the nation, but no one wants that. I mean, it is a moment in this show where everyone's like, who's the leader of this place? And then everyone just points at Rimuru. And they're like, okay, we elect Rimuru to be the thing. And that was kind of more like an oligarchy setting than necessarily like full-on election. But it's proof showing that the people most able to be in charge don't want to be. Everyone is compensated with their needs taken care of. Everyone provides work and is paid through needs of that work, compensated through their needs. I mean, it's not, no one's getting more for better work, but there's not much more to offer. They're equally distributing everything, and everyone's putting in a good amount of work. It's not like you see everyone just relaxing. It's not like you see the hobgoblins relax all the time. You see the Kijin relax all the time, but they serve as higher military and stuff. And you see Rimuru relax more so, but he still's charged. It's not like you see lazy orcs or hobgoblins, you know? Everyone's putting in the work. Everyone's being provided what they need. Everyone's compensated for what they do. So yeah, there's no favoritism. Not many luxury goods shown, so it's not like they can, hey, you did more work here, you get this TV. Doesn't exist yet. Everyone serves a purpose. There's no unemployment shown. But it also seems like everyone gets to work what they believe they want to work. I mean, it's not like we see everyone be like, I don't want to do this, put me somewhere else. Everyone seems happy with what they're doing. There's anti-war pacts, so that's even more lefty. I've already explained this, but everything is universal again. Everything's taken care of. All their needs is taken care of. That's a very leftist policy. I was saying before I got rudely interrupted, if I try to establish a socialistic or communistic country, CSI would probably take me out, right? That's the people that do the coups, right? I already discussed the mangaka probably didn't pick it out for politically reasons. They probably were just thinking, hey, how do you start a society? Everyone's just working in it. Honestly, that's probably it, but I believe it just aligns up with communism. It looks like it, smells like it feels good in my heart to say it's communism. And I mean, if you look, we read through those definitions. If you want to tell me something fucking else, try me. I will debate this hella hard. Tell me it's capitalism. Tell me how that makes sense, because it's not. Tell me how it's fascism. I'm a little more open to that, but I find fascism bad still, and I don't think it's that either, because fascism fails and is bad, and yeah. You want to debate me if it's socialism? Hey, I'll debate that. That's fine. That's okay. If it's anarchy, if you want to debate that as anarchy, hey, I'm okay with that too. I didn't dig too much into anarchies, so hey, if you want to say it's that, that's cool. But no matter what way you look at it, the show's pretty fucking left. It leans pretty hard to the left. Okay, I don't know why I'm being so aggressive. Try me. I've proved my points. That's settled. Yeah. Also, this is set in a fantasy land, so you don't have to. No one worries about a set finite amount of resources. We don't know the resources. We don't know how long it will take for anything to run out. It's not like that is too important because it's a fictional world, fictional society. That's how I got resurrected as a slime. Why I believe it's a communism pamphlet handed to you, right, with the hammer and sickle right on the flyer. It's just a communistic propaganda machine shoving down everyone's throats. It's not. I believe it's a subtlety of the show, and it's a very beautiful one. But yeah, thanks for watching. I've been talking for like an hour now, and I am tired. So yeah, thanks for watching. Check out my main channel. Subscribe to this channel. If you're not interested in gaming content, I'm planning to upload a discussion video once a week. So look forward to that. It'll be covering multiple topics. Leftism and anime isn't happening every week. No. I have the second script lined up for it. That'll happen in the future. But up next will be a One Piece theory or my review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So yeah, wait for that. Check it out if you're not interested in gaming. There will be more discussion videos to come. And yeah, I'm Niels. Again, thanks for watching. I stream live on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I didn't this past week, but that's because I've been trying to work on this mostly. But yeah, dope. Subscribe. Thanks. Where's my audacity? No fucking way.